I bet you're wondering why I am once again sitting on my patio drinking coffee and talking to you. Well, turns out AT&T and Lee aren't the only companies that suck, and some companies actually suck worse than those do. So, the records company for my surgeon's office. And oh God, they are a nightmare to work with. Remember when I said last month that getting the records to the insurance carrier was kind of my fault? Well, not really. See, when you submit a records request to the records company, you have delivery options of email, mail, or personal pickup. Well, as archaic as it is, they don't even offer the option of fax, which some insurance companies actually prefer. I don't get it, but is what it is, right? So the method I requested, of course, was email. And I gave them the email address to the secure upload at the insurance carrier. The email address was correct. The claim number was correct. And for weeks, the only response they would give me was, "We sent it, we'll send it again." And repeatedly, it didn't arrive. Eventually, they told me the insurance carrier could call and change the delivery method. For whatever stupid compliance reason, me, the patient, and the one who put the request in, can't request the change. I don't get it. I don't get it. So the carrier called to request this twice even. Twice. And the records company didn't do it. No, they just resent the email. And then the day of the deadline comes along. And that's when I found out from the insurance company the email arrived, but there was nothing attached. Well, the insurance company didn't know what to do, so I called the records company. And I asked a very simple question. When you send an email, are the records sent as an attachment or a link in the email to download the records? It took almost an hour on the phone with the records people before they would tell me they send it as a link in the email. Here's how their record system works. If you want electronic delivery, you provide the email address for the secure portal. Then they send an email with a link. And you click the link in a secure portal. I don't understand that, but you're supposed to click the link and enter in some patient information so that you can download the records. Yeah. Needless to say, since the portal is only looking for an attachment, and the insurance company isn't going to open a secure link, open an unsecure link. Yeah, I'll say it right eventually.
Hey, editing room here. You know you shouldn't click those unsecure links either, by the way. I mean, Internet Security 101, right?
Now, like I said before, this all came to a head right at the deadline to submit records. Now, thankfully, the insurance company, they agreed to extend it for another 21 days. And I know insurance companies have a bad reputation about stuff like this, but honestly, this carrier's patience has been beyond absolutely stellar. Needless to say, I've been increasingly unkind in my interactions with the records people.
And yes, that means I went full supervisor, hockey coach, manager on them. And worse.
My frustration level with them is completely off the charts. During one phone call, my kids were actually concerned I was going to have another stroke. At one point, I was actually in tears because of what their incompetence. They just made it impossible to meet the submissions deadline. Well, since then, we found out they never sent the invoice to the insurance carrier, which means they never got paid, which means they won't release the records until they get paid. In other words, their incompetence caused everyone massive amounts of frustration and nearly caused the complete loss of my benefits. And they want to get paid for it. Well, at that point, there was a very long email exchange over that. And their last message basically said they were dealing with it and leave them alone. Now, they said they would work on it by contacting the insurance carrier, which they never did. Now, since then, the insurance company has paid the invoice, and the records company never resent the stuff. Not as a link, not as an attachment, not as a fax, not by mail. They didn't send it at all. And I have a very, very long recording, mostly on hold, where they basically put the insurance carrier on the hook to call them again to request changes to the delivery method so that they could send it, which means the carrier has to call them to request it. And then they have to fill out a form, and then they have to send the form back with something on letterhead for that to happen. Yeah. So after a very terse conversation with a supervisor, supposedly, I did not go full hockey coach on them, although I seriously wanted to. They agreed to apply the insurance company payment to a personal request that I had put in just in case. You know, you do these things just in case. And I was promised an email when they accomplished this to notify me that they had accomplished this and that I could click the link and so on, right? Shocking, it never came. So I went back to their original emailed invoice to me, clicked that, and it had the updated amount. The payment had been applied. They just didn't bother to tell me. So I downloaded the records, sent them to the insurance company. Problem solved. It only took 2 months of insanity. So, yeah, lots of companies out there suck. And I seem to find most of them.
And of course, we all blame the Leprechaun for that, right?